So for a long time, I've been chasing the numbers, I've been chasing the views, virality, and different things like that. You know what I'm saying? Being on social media for a long time, it's hard not to do those things, right? It's hard not to want to go viral. It's hard not to want your videos to blow up and, and grow and see your followers go up. But I think one thing has happened. None of that. Like I haven't really had too many viral clips. I haven't had any of those big moments, you know, and I was actually watching the guy, on YouTube. It's been circulating. It's like 8 years I've been on YouTube and I haven't been monetized. Why? And I kind of came to the realization that you don't really have a choice if or when the algorithm picks you. You know what I'm saying? So, and this is kind of something I've been struggling with for a long time, even as a content creator, because you want people to like your stuff. You want to go viral. You want to do all these things, but sometimes it just doesn't. So I'm kind of done chasing growth, man. And the reason why it might be different than what you think, but it's a couple reasons why I kind of want to change that, right? And when I change these things, it doesn't mean that growth won't happen, but growth will happen, I guess, as a byproduct and not necessarily, because I'm chasing growth. Does that make sense what I'm saying? So the first thing that I kind of want to do now is I want to be more intentional. I think for me, when I was younger, probably in my mid to late 20s, I think I decided that I wanted to be a more intentional person in everything that I do. Because when you're young, you're kind of reckless sometimes, and your recklessness, it affects people that you love, it affects relationships, and your thought is more so about yourself and not everybody else. So I decide to also take that to my videos. Like I want to be more intentional in the things I create. Does that mean that I'll create a video a day? That's still the goal. But if at any point I decide that, what, I need to take a step back and do something different, I will. But intentionality is probably the first thing that I really want to do, because I want what I do to kind of impact people. I don't want to just be doing it just for the views or just because I need to make a video. I really want what I do to like mean something to somebody. You know what I'm saying? So intentionality is the first thing that I think ultimately ultimately that I want to focus on. I think another thing is just continuing, I talk about detaching from the process and getting better and stuff like that. That's another thing I think I want to, focus on, is more so just the mastery of it. I think that I've kind of learned that I'm learning is that success is a byproduct of mastery. It doesn't come before, but it comes after. So it's like as you improve, as you get better, as you get really good at that thing, however long it takes you to get good at that thing, that's kind of when success comes. I know for some people, they sell the idea, the illusion of success, that you don't have to kind of, be good at stuff to make money. And I guess to a certain extent, that's true. You just have to be better than the people that you're serving. But I think when you're a master at something, anybody can learn from you. You know what I'm saying? Whether they're a master at your craft or not. So I think for me, I think to stay in this game a long time, you kind of have to just choose progress. You know what I'm saying? Over being perfect, like mastery over, the financials. And then when you really, really get good at something, I just believe people just kind of, you know what I'm saying? They'll just automatically throw their money and their resources at you, because why would we not want to support people that are good at stuff? You know what I'm saying? Why would we not want to do that? I think another one for me that I talk about a lot is community. Like, community is a big thing for me. And the reason why community is a big thing for me is because um, we all need community. You know what I'm saying? One shape or form, whether it's like with everything that's going on in life, we all need people that support us and we support them, vice versa. I think for me, with a lot of people, we might want fans and fame, and and I don't think all of those are bad in, say moderation and stuff like that. But I think community is the most important thing, because that also means that whoever supports you, you know what I'm saying, you can support them. You support them by giving, your services, but they also support you. You know what I mean? Because they're coming for not just what you do, but who you are and how you help them. And I think with community, you kind of build relationships on like a deeper level, which I think is important too a lot of times. So another thing is just building community around what I do, because not everybody is going to want your stuff, but I think as long as the right people want your stuff, I think that's so important to have. And I try to have community in everything I do, with family, with friends. That's something that I've struggled with for a long time, because it was always about me and getting to the next goal. But I think as I'm maturing in life, I really am starting to think that it's really about the people that you have around you, and not just your intentions with them, but their intentions with you. So that's another thing I want to focus on. And I think for me, the fourth thing is just freedom. And the reason why I say freedom is because we all are, and freedom doesn't necessarily mean, I mean, I want wealth, I want riches. I'm not going to say that. But freedom is just like freedom of expression, freedom of my mind, freedom of my heart. You know what I'm saying? Being able to give of things because that's what I want to do, and being able to live a life that I want to live because that's the life that I decide to live. I'm very big on that, and I'm not opposed to a 9 to 5, but I know for me, it took me a while to realize this, but I think I've always been creative in nature. I've always been entrepreneurial in nature, even if those ventures were not as successful as I want, which I can talk about in another video. I can talk to you all day about all the things that I failed at. And I might do that. You know what I'm saying? That might be another video. All the things that I failed. I failed at a lot, man. But because I failed at a lot, I can tell you what I think doesn't work. But I think because I failed at a lot, I'm a story of resilience. You know what I'm saying? And I think ultimately resilience leads to freedom as long as you keep fighting. So ultimately, I know I keep saying ultimately, but I think all in all, freedom is, what I want to do because I want to be able to create and I want to make money off of the things that I create. Not because I'm chasing the money, but because I create them and people love what I create. Even if I do believe that'll be a large amount of people, but even if it's not, it'll still be impactful to somebody some way. I have a lot of gifts. It's like we all have a lot of gifts to give to the world. And I think it's most important that we do that in whatever shape or form, we do. And money ultimately I think it's just the byproduct. If you create good things and you get really good at something, you can tell when somebody's really good at something, like, okay, you've been working on this for years. It's hard not to want to be supportive of them because of the thing that they've done so well. So freedom is another thing. And I think ultimately, this is, I'm typing my notes. Ultimately, I just want to create something beautiful, but I don't want to overwork myself doing it. And I was thinking about that this morning. Like, I'm laying in bed, I'm like, man, I'm going to work, and it's just like I'm tired of working so hard, man. Like, I don't feel like life was made for us to work hard all the time. I just don't. And I'm not subscribing to that. I'm sorry. I can't. I tried it. It's ghetto. I'm not doing that. You know what I'm saying? So, but I want to create something beautiful that's impactful. But you know what I'm saying, that I'm proud of. But then as a byproduct, make money and things like that. But I'm not gonna overwork. I don't want to overwork myself to do it. Do I work, hard and with intention and work ethic? Yes. Am I gonna overly work hard and things like that? No. If you see any of my videos, I think that's probably the opposite of the lesson that I'm trying to teach the people. Now we'll see if that works. We'll see if that, if what I'm saying works over time, which I believe it will. But this is kind of where I'm at today, man. I think growth is a byproduct of doing all these things, man. Chasing intentionality, chasing freedom, chasing quality, chasing mastery. Even if my videos might not be the best quality, I think what I'm saying and being authentic in what I'm saying is quality, or the message that I have to say is quality. So hopefully that this helps. This is my perspective today, man. I changed my mind. I'm trying. It's a work in progress, but I'm trying not to worry about the views and metrics. I've gotten a lot better with that over the years, but I am focused on what I'm creating and how I can create more. And this is just a side note. I think for me, I've been on socials now. I mean, I've been on social for a long time, but as far as like creating businesses on social, probably 12, 10 years. I say 10 years. I say 10 years. And in that process, I haven't gone viral that much. I've created things that people like, but I wasn't always proud of it because it didn't do the numbers that I wanted to do. But I've also realized that I'm grateful for it, that I have a foundation. You know what I'm saying? I have a foundation of understanding what I want, understanding what I don't want. And, I think I also have a foundation in building people that support me. I think sometimes I've struggled to nurture those relationships because there's so much going on in my head. And sometimes I allow that to affect my life. But I think I'm going to start spending more time nurturing the relationships that I do have, focusing on growth in small ways. But I've seen the way that I've grown over the years, and I think I'm proud of that. Would I wanted more growth? Of course. But I don't necessarily determine how that happens. So I'll give you an update. I do think my next video is going to be talking about all the things that I failed at, because I think that'll give you an accurate depiction of who I really am instead of just talking about things that I know and I've learned, but kind of showing you not just my healing, but my wounds and my scars. So hopefully this helps. If you made it to the end, just drop a like and a comment. You know what I'm saying? Till next time.